Good morning, doctor and my friends. Today I will talk about the chemical equations and also the ionic equations. So first, what is the chemical equations? When the chemical reaction occurs, we need to write it on the paper. So what we write on the paper is the chemical equations. We use the equations to present a chemical reactions. For example, HCl react with NaOH and H2O to NaOH to produce H2O and NaCl. Next, when we writing the chemical equations, we will have the reactants and also the products. Reactants is the starting materials, which will be right on the left side, while the products is the final compounds, which will be right on the right side. So when we see the reaction just now, which is the equation just now, we can see HCl and NaOH are the reactants, while H2O and NaCl are the products. So when we learn a chemical reactions, we write the chemical equations, we need to know how to balance it. So when we balance, we need to calculate the sum of atoms on the left side and also the right side. Here, we use four steps to balance the number of atoms of the hydrogen atoms, oxygen atoms, and also the sodium atoms. Next, in the ionic equations, we will learn about the species which will involve in the chemical reaction. Hence, the ionic equation will be more specific and also more simple. Before we go to the ionic equations, we will learn about the ionic compound first. Ionic compounds will break down, which will dissolve in water to form ions. For example, NaCl will dissolve in water to form the Na plus ions and Cl minus ion, which is the sodium ions and also the chloride ions. After we learn about the ionic compounds, we will now go to how to get the ionic equations. Before we get the ionic equations, we will have to get the chemical equation first. We get the full chemical equations and then we write the total ionic equation, which is we break down the ions in the ionic compounds. For example, Ki will break into potassium ions and iodide ions, while the KCl will break into potassium ions and chloride ions. At the net ionic equations, we will cancel out the same ions on the left side, which is the reactant part, and also the right side, which is the product parts. After we cancel out the same components, the remaining molecules or compounds or the ions will be the reactants and also the product, which is the net ionic equations. Now I will talk about the real life example we have made in using the chemical equations and also the ionic equations in our real life. So the combustion is the chemical equations. The propane will react with the oxygens to produce water and also carbon dioxide and energy. While we use baking soda and vinegar to unclogging slow drains. NaHCO3 is the sodium bicarbonate react with the acetic acid to produce sodium acetate, water, and also carbon dioxide. So the sodium ions and the acetate ions is also we can find at the product part. Hence, we will cancel out these two ions. So the remaining is the bicarbonate ions and hydrogen ions. React will produce the water and also the carbon dioxide. To conclude, the chemical equations provide the complete recipe of the chemical reaction, while the ionic equations, it reveals the true reactants and products in the reaction. That's all from me. Thank you.